Hey, this is Nikki G and welcome to Better Commander. Today we are transcending time and space with the reality chip. Okay, story time. I was working out at the gym today and I had taken a monstrous amount of pre-workout. My heart was racing, my eyeballs were jiggling in their sockets. Suddenly, without warning, I entered an altered state of consciousness and beheld the fabric of reality itself. Turns out I had dropped a weight on my head and sustained a serious head injury. In my convalescence, though, I started thinking about the reality chip. And I also started thinking about, if this was a pill bug in the bottom of this art. Man, I do love everything about this card. I love the art. I love the design. It's a jellyfish equipment that jacks into your cerebral cortex and does whatever it does in the cyberpunk world of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. I think it's a really interesting, really cool card. The reality chip, 1 and a blue, for a legendary artifact creature, equipment jellyfish 0/4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the reality chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Has reconfigure for 2 and a blue. So reconfigure is attached to target creature you control or unattached from a creature. Reconfigure only as a sorcery. While attached, this isn't a creature. It's got some alternate art here, so there are a few ways we can go, but combo seems to be the way that I would try to build this. With a commander like this, I'd want to utilize the passive ability to run through our deck to get a combo online. Without a lot of fast mana, we'd realistically be able to combo out on turn 6 with no interaction from our opponents. With fast mana, turn 3 or 4. If we lean into artifacts, our target combo would be to get out a cost reducer such as Foundry Inspector, Joyra's Familiar, or Ethereum Sculptor. Then we get out Sensei's Divining Top and get the chip attached to one of our creatures. This is accomplished. We can draw our deck and win with Thassa's Oracle. In blue, we can generate infinite mana with Grand Architect and Pili Pala. We can also get infinite mana with Deadeye Navigator and Peregrine Drake. Or if you want to get real fancy, we can get Palancron or Great Whale out there with Deadeye Navigator. We can also get infinite colorless mana with Forsaken Monument and or Rings of Brighthearth and Basalt Monolith. So once we have infinite mana, we can draw our deck with Blue Sun's Zenith or Stroke of Genius, and again, win with Thassa's Oracle. We have tons of artifact tutors, including Reshape, War of Invention, Tribute Mage, Trinket Mage, Fabricate, and Koldatha Forge Master, just to name a few. So in building a deck like this, I run into the existential question of all deck builders: is this fun? When I try to build these types of commanders, I fall into these traps where I try to combo out as quickly as possible. I start to add fast mana into the deck, and then I'm just not playing the same game as my opponents. It may be the curse of having been around for a while, but I just know how to do this already, and it isn't super interesting. If you back up Thassa's Oracle with a few counter spells, which you'll likely have because you have infinite mana and you've drawn your deck, then the deck becomes this uninteractable juggernaut that ends up being, frankly, boring. I think that may be the ultimate irony of beholding infinite knowledge. Once you know the course of the game, it becomes this foregone conclusion that you've already seen played out over and over again. Thassa's Oracle, I think, is kind of a curse on the format, although it's a great boon to the more competitive circles. So sometimes I start building a deck and then I realize I don't like the direction it's pushing me in, and that's okay. Not everything sets you on fire. So armed with this knowledge, go forth in the world. Like I said, I really like the design of this card, but I think it's something I'd use in the 99 of, say, a Dalakos deck to generate card advantage and equip my creatures. If you're building this commander or are interested in building it, I'd love to see your deck list, and I'd love to hear your comments. This little jellyfish hovers between super powerful and dirtly, and I had a hard time pushing it to a nice 75% deck. Anyways, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe for more deep dives, and this is going to be Nikki G signing off.